All right, I have my screen share up here. We're going to do some working on the screen here. And I do hope that you guys are all well. And this is a time that we can either choose to bury our heads and hide away in fear from what's happening in the world, or we can look at this as a time of opportunity, which is what I choose to do. And by opportunity, I'm not talking about taking advantage of people during a time of need. I'm talking about, taking action on things that maybe you don't normally have time to work on. But if you take massive action right now, put your head down and get focused, instead of living in the fear, you can actually make a significant difference in your business and position yourself for the other side, because there will be another side. And the more that we focus on our work today, the better we're going to be positioned. So I like to look at this as a time of opportunity. Now, for my coaching clients, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. Excuse me. I was a little hoarse this morning. Absolutely not sick, just a little hoarse because I'm just now starting to speak for the day. I get up at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and just blog for a couple hours before I actually start speaking. If you have any questions, type them in. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and start some training and some conversation here for you guys that are home. I've noticed that as I am working with coaching clients one-on-one, that very few agents are still using KW Command. That's my experience so far. And the ones that are focused on some basics, but they don't really have a plan of action. So I would like to focus this today on a plan of action that we can take anytime, and especially now while we have a lot of time on our hands. Okay, sound good? Jeff, Paul, give me a holler. Just let me know that you guys are still there. Just want to make sure, because I haven't seen anything moving on the screen. So I want to make sure that our chat is good. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so here's some things that I'm just going to go and I'm going to talk about things that I would be doing on KW Command for my business, regardless of the timing, but especially now. So the first thing that I would be doing is I would be going through all of my contacts and getting the database ready, primed, and functioning. It's shocking to me how many one-on-one clients I talk to, and they say, Lori, we want to learn how to do Facebook ads. We want to learn how to build out our website, but they don't have communication happening in their database. And in my opinion, that's first and foremost before anything else is the database. So first step is to make sure that and I know this may sound basic, but I'm telling you, this needs to be number one. First step is to make sure that we have all of our contacts in our database, starting with past clients, friends and family, your sphere of influence. This is first, okay? This is first. Now, those people should be on some sort of a smart plan. Your smart plans, I'm going to open this in a new tab. Your smart plans are now completely editable and customizable. So there's no excuse not to have somebody on a smart plan, even if it's a one-touch, something that you make up. Okay? I'm looking at a question here. Hold on. Facebook keeps shutting my page down. Is there another platform that has a good return from ads? Why are they shutting your page down? And if it's continuous, there must be an issue there. I've never had a page get shut down, so I'm curious to know what it is that you're posting on there that they would shut it down. And as far as your question on where do I run Facebook ads, where do I run ads on KW Command, which is what we're talking about specifically today, you have the ability to run on Instagram. You can run ads on Google AdWords. You can run ads on Twitter. So if you're having problems with Facebook, then try one of those other channels as far as advertisements go. All right. Getting back to our database and our smart plans here, before we start generating any leads from anywhere else, we want to make sure that every person in our database is on a smart plan. Okay? First and foremost, everybody. If you don't have everybody on a smart plan, there's no reason to go run Facebook ads yet or any other type of ads, because you got to cultivate the audience you already have before you bring in new leads. It's easier to convert people that are already in your database than it is to bring in new leads. It's easier to generate referrals from people in your database than it is to generate more leads. So start here now that we have all the functionality. A month ago, when this functionality wasn't here, I wasn't saying the same thing. I was saying go get new leads. But now that functionality is here, it's time to work our database. Okay. Now, if we go over to the library, what you're able to see is the smart plans that are already in the system. Okay. What you want to do is you want to click View Steps and take a look at what is in these plans. Hover over the touch and you'll be able to see what it is that's being sent out. If you don't like it, then you're going to edit the campaign. And when you edit a campaign, what it technically does is it just duplicates the campaign into your library. And now you have the ability to edit. Some of these don't edit really well, so I end up starting from scratch. So if you find one that isn't editing real well, you're going to start from scratch. Okay. Now, when I say everybody should be on your in your smart plans, here's what I'm saying. First of all, birthday. Okay. If all through this quarantine that we're dealing with right now, and people are at home, this is the time to be contacting people. Now, yesterday I posted a video in our on the YouTube channel, and it's how to create a crisis smart plan. And all I did was create a text and an email message that basically said, hey, how are you doing? You know, it wasn't canned. It just was like a quick touch. Hey, how you doing? And then the other day I also created another video. And if you don't see these in your course material, let me know. The other one I created was a getting to know you plan using Google Forms. Let me just show you this really quick. Watch this. Google Forms. I need to test the imports later. That's one thing I haven't done yet. But if you go to Google Forms, it's a free platform that allows you to create these contact information or signups or whatever on these forms that are free. Okay. So on the video, I show you how to go create a getting to know you form. And it has things like, what's your birthday? What's your favorite sports team? What's your favorite snack? You know, those types of things. When's your wedding anniversary? And then I'm going into Command, creating custom fields and putting that information in there. Why am I doing that? So that I can better communicate with my clients, so that I can reward them for thank them for sending me all the referrals they do all year long, or remember them at Christmas or a holiday or a birthday or something like that. Okay, these are things that we would want to be doing right now during this time when we are home and when people are home. If people are home, they're more likely to respond to this stuff. Okay, so when I'm over here talking about working our database and really getting our database up to a quality asset, because it is an asset, then we're going to start seeing a return on our time of investment. Now, action plan. So the first thing is making sure that we have everybody's birthday and everybody's home anniversary, so that we potentially can launch these smart plans if we want to. There's a birthday smart plan. There's a home anniversary smart plan. If you don't like those, you can make your own. Next thing I would have everybody on is potentially a neighborhood nurture that's letting them know what's happening in their neighborhood. Now, I don't think everybody should go on a neighborhood nurture, but maybe your past clients that you sold houses to, it would make sense to do that. Or somebody that you've spoken to that's a buyer that's looking at a particular neighborhood. Okay, so home birthday, home anniversary, potentially the neighborhood nurture. Okay, there's also something simple like this quarterly call plan that literally just puts a to-do in your database and says, call them, and then it waits 90 days and says, call them, and it waits 90 days and then it adds another task, call them. So when I'm saying everybody should be on a smart plan, it may not even be something that they're getting automated emails or automated text messages, because you're lining this up in your to-do. So every single person in your database should be on one of these smart plans, period. Everybody. If they're not on a smart plan, why are they in your database? Okay. Now, when you're creating your own smart plans, you could create a monthly newsletter type of smart plan, or you could create a getting to know you smart plan. Let's take a look at this. This one I created. I just literally just called it COVID-19. Nobody can see it, but that's mine, what I sent. So I built this the other day, and here's what it says. So the first text message says, hi, just checking in on you guys. Is there anything you need? Simple, checking in on you guys. Is there anything you need? And then I wait 3 days, and then I send another email. And it's a more of a thought-provoking, a little bit more emotional type of message. And just kind of connecting and saying this too shall pass. And if you want to get a virtual coffee, let me know. I'm around so that we can talk. And then it waits 3 days, and then it assigns me to make a phone call if I want to make a phone call. And then it waits 2 weeks and then sends them another text message. Hey, it's Lori Ballen, just checking in with you again. All good? Easy, simple. What I don't like happening right now is I do not like these Facebook messages that I'm getting. I don't like everybody's just forwarding stuff to each other. The videos, the animated GIFs, the things like that. I don't open any of them. I'm getting a ton of Facebook voicemails. I don't open any of them, because this is the time also when people are spamming and the scams are going around. So if I don't really know that person, I'm not opening anything they're putting in my Facebook messages. So be wary of that. Just got somebody friend requested me yesterday. I don't know who they are. I accepted the friend request, and today they sent me a message saying, how's your family? It feels weird. It feels weird because I don't know you. So why would you be asking about my family? So be careful about the way you word your messages, in my opinion. I think it can come off odd if it's overboard, and so that is something that we could be doing right now, is setting up a little smart plan that allows people to, it's just a little check and balance, and that's fine. Now, what smart plans do I think are not good right now? Generic, hey, do you want to have coffee tomorrow? I mean, that's just weird. I would turn those off right now, because it doesn't make sense especially in the places right now where we can't leave our houses. I mean, this sounds like such a weird conversation. It's blowing my mind to even be saying what I'm saying, because I'm thinking to myself, it's so weird to even be talking about quarantine and lockdowns in a training session, but that's where our world is right now. So we have to. So I think a birthday campaign is still very applicable. I think celebrating somebody's home anniversary right now is still very applicable. I think, people are still looking at real estate. I mean, look at my leads. So I ran an ad for a new listing that Krista took right before all this happened, and I got leads still coming in. you know, so people are still shopping real estate. I just think we need to be careful about the generic campaigns right now that are going to really be obvious that they're canned. Okay. All right. So another thing I was talking to somebody about yesterday, and they haven't even looked at the database health score. So this is another thing to be doing right now. So the database health score is a rating that you get on your contact that is a score up to 100% that's based on the items that you're filling out in your database. So if you click edit, you have their name, and their name is 20%. You have their email, which is another 20% of the score. You have their phone number, which is another 20% of the score. And then you have tags, which is 4%. Then we'll click down to add more information. And then we have address, which is 20%. Then you have their one of their social links, which counts for 4%. You have your lead source, which counts for 4%. And you have your company title and job title, which either or, just the company they work for or what they do. The job title is 4%. And then their birthday is 4%. So, and this is all, I have all this written up, of course, for you as well, in your course and on my videos. If you need it, let me know. You can also right here, just go up here to this little question mark and go to Keller Williams University and type in database, let me see, health score. Oops. So there's a lot of help files in here also that tell you what things are. So this other scoring system here, this is for your overall database. Okay. So I'm sorry, this one here is for the individual contact. So name 20%, phone number 20%, email 20%, social media profile 4, tags 4, home anniversary 4, birthday 4, and work information 4. And then there's also one that gives you a report on the overall health of your total database, and that tracks it a little bit differently. So you can look at these here, and it's based on how much information you're sending in. So action plan would be to make sure that everybody in my database, 1, is on a smart plan, and 2, is filled out as completely as possible so that I can communicate with them as best possible. This is the perfect thing to be doing right now while we're at home. Okay. So those are the things that I would suggest today that you're doing in here, in this part here. Now, let's just say you've already done all of this. Your database is humming. Everybody's on a smart plan. You've got text activated. You've got emails activated. You've removed people from the canned, not going to be appropriate during this session, during this season of our life right here in the world. So I'm going to remove them from that. You're putting them on smart plans that are actually working right now, like my COVID-19 smart plan. All of your new leads are going on your buyer arrival smart plan. So Jeff actually sat down and created a buyer arrival smart plan, because what we noticed was there really wasn't a great smart plan provided for us in KW Command that was good for like new web leads. So we took our experience that we have building out campaigns in Infusionsoft, and that's our autopilot ISA. Some of you guys have it. Some of you guys have heard us talk about it. And we brought that into Command in kind of a test space here. And here's what we have. So as soon as a buyer lead comes in, we have a text message that says, "Hi, Susie, my name is Lori Ballen. How do you feel about the properties you're searching online?" And then there's a 1-day delay. And then they get an email. And that email says, "Hi, Mary, we have access," or well, I forgot who I was talking to, Susie. "Hey, Susie, we have access to all properties in the area, as well as many not advertised. Are there any properties you're currently eyeing?" Now, this is still fine right now. These messages are still okay because you're talking about real estate, which this buyer has already expressed interest in. So if you're getting leads, this buyer leads, you're running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, Twitter ads, whatever you're running, then these would still be appropriate. And then it waits a day, sends them a text message. Hey, are you getting the properties we're sending to you? Now, the idea with this campaign is that we are going to take them off of this campaign once they're communicating with us. And now we've got them like on a buyer drip, the 2-week neighborhood nurture campaign or something. Then we'll take them off of this. So this is meant to chase until they answer us and say, yes, this is what I'm doing. Okay. So as you can see, literally we have a campaign for every type of, actually the one I don't think we've put in here yet, I need to add this one, is our home valuation campaign. Did I add that yet? Jeff, we need to make a note. I don't think I added one of those yet. Oh, no. So we need a home valuation lead campaign to go in here for sellers. Okay. So once we get that one in here, we really have everybody in here. Now you also could create Keller Mortgage or financing. You know what would be a cool campaign right now? Oh, Jeff says we're adding seller arrival campaign. And yes, you can buy these campaigns from Jeff and Paul. So talk to Jeff and Paul if you need one built out for you. Also, what would be good right now is a monthly market report campaign, still very much applicable during all of this. So to have a once a month, hey, here's your monthly market report, still an appropriate campaign to go out. And you can have people on multiple campaigns. It would be very appropriate to have somebody on a once a month real estate market campaign and have them on a birthday campaign and have them on a home anniversary campaign and have them on the COVID-19 campaign. A crisis campaign, because they're going to be getting them only at the time that's appropriate to those events. And so it would make sense to have them on all of those. So you may possibly have people on multiple campaigns. You just want to make sure you're taking them off of one that wouldn't be applicable anymore to what their situation is today. Okay. So text activated, email activated, everybody at the highest score you could possibly get them at. And I need to go probably make notes on this afterwards. Okay, so text activated, email activated, everybody in your database, everybody on a smart plan or multiple smart plans, including whatever custom ones you want to make, okay? And then everybody at a highest health score you can possibly get them at. Okay. Okay. Now, if you have all of that done, which I'm going to bet nobody does because I haven't even done all that. But if all of that is done, that's when you now are going to switch over to another type of action plan. Okay. So my next to do would be this. We are now going to go over to designs. And we're going to create some social posts and schedule them out on our calendar. Now imagine this. You're home right now and you're not out in the field a whole bunch. Some of you still are, but most of us aren't out there all that much right now. Now would be a good time to use the designs to create a whole bunch of social posts that you're now going to schedule for your busy times. So right now, we're home. We actually have the ability to create a design and post it, right? I'm going to go over here to plus, and I'm going to go to social so I can show you what I'm talking about. You can create a design and schedule a social post right now pretty easily. But you can also schedule that post to post May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd. Maybe you want to start with June 1st, June 2nd, June 3rd. And when all this lifts and you're out there super busy again, you now have social media posts going out on your behalf every single day. How huge is that? So I'll show you where you're going to find this is we're actually going to go down here to campaigns. and we're going to click social posts. So I have social posts open in one tab and I have designs open in another tab. This is typically how I work. If you have multiple webinars, then I'm sorry, multiple monitors, you could have designs open on one monitor or one screen and campaigns open on another, okay? Now, if you look at this, we have a beautiful posting calendar. This would be similar to something like a Hootsuite or CoSchedule or whatever it is that you might be using. Sprout Social, okay? On the right-hand side, we have what's called quick posts, and I featured some of these on last month's call, where you can just really quick click a button and it'll post. So let me show you what I'm talking about there in case you missed last month. So they have 3 quick posts for us right now. They have a neighborhood smart video. They have a app, and we don't have homes in Vegas that look like this, so that would be weird for me to post that one. I'm just saying. And this one too. This looks like it's, I don't know, Maryland or Philadelphia or something. It's definitely not Vegas. So for me, I wouldn't use the ones that don't look like Vegas. I would go in and edit my own. But if I wanted to, and this does look like where I live, I'm going to click that share button, and it automatically fills out an entire post for you. Check out my new real estate app, and then it talks about downloading it. It puts in your unique app. It puts, oh, wait a minute. All I have to do is change the picture out. Hang on. So let's still look at this. So now they uploaded the default, but I can get rid of that. I'll close that little X. And now we can actually browse the design library. It opens designs, and I can pull in a picture that I've already made, or I can create a new one. See that? So it might be a good idea in designs to create like 4 or 5 front of houses that looks like Vegas would, and put them in there. Another option we could do here is we could upload an image, drag and drop, browse from your own library and drop in a picture. Okay, that's an option too. So I could go over and save 4 or 5 correct sized images to my computer, and then I could just grab them and browse them anytime I want to go in here. Okay. Now from here, I can also schedule the post, or I can publish immediately. So anytime you have these quick posts on the right-hand side, take advantage of them. I wish they would give us like 30 of those, so that every single day we could just come in, click a button, and go. I think that would be incredible, because with designs, you do have to go into designs, we have to lay it out, we have to save it, and then we can go in and post it here. Quick posts are much faster. Plus, they tell us what to say. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I find that ingenious. And putting in our link for us, I mean, I want one of those for every day. And I would just go in there and click it, and off we go. All right. So on the flip side of that, what we could do is we can go over to designs, and we can just start creating designs. Okay. So let's just say, oh, there's a new one I really like. It's under new designs. Right here. I haven't done this one yet. I'm going to make a video for this one for tomorrow's 365 days of command. I am obsessed with this layout. It's so modern and clean. This is going to be like my new go-to for my listings. I'm just obsessed. So let's take a look at this. So let me give you some ideas. Let's just say, all right, first of all, if you have a listing, it's going to be this simple. One, you can go over to KWLS and you can search for a KW listing by MLS number, by KWLS ID, by listing agent, by co-listing agent. Okay, I forget the address, so let me search by listing agent. I'm going to pull up Krista. Krista has a new listing that we're marketing. That doesn't work. How about, let me grab the address real quick. I'm just drawing a blank on. Oh, wonder if they took it down. Okay, so I'm just going to grab another listing right now because I just want to, let me just try typing in Las Vegas. Okay, so let's just say this was my listing, okay? So what I would do is I would type in the address, I'd pull up the listing, and then I would click select. Now you get all the photos that are actually from that listing. So what I can do is I can replace this image by clicking on it, then hover over the image you want to replace it with, that and click that little round replace image, and now that will take the place of that image. That is gorgeous. Then you just click here and you change the address, and then you would change whatever these features are here, okay? And then finally change out your DBA logo to match your own DBA logo. So if you go to images, you can add all your images here and store your images so that you just drop it in once. So in this case, I have to delete that and drag this one over because for some reason it doesn't do that little replace thing. So I would just put it up there. Okay. If you want your picture on here, you could remove the background. I think I've shown you now like 3 ways to remove the background from a picture. Easy in Canva. PicMonkey now has remove the background. Remove.bg now has a remove the background. So I can, I think I have one. Hold on. Let me go to add. I'm going to drag and drop. And I'm going to put no background. I have a picture of myself with no background. Okay, there's one. So I'm going to open this and I'll show you what it does in case you haven't seen this before. Okay, so then I am just going to click the plus sign. It adds it to my image. And now I can put myself on top of that picture. So it keeps up with my branding. Love it. Love it. I would do that on every picture. I just think having your own branding on there is so important. And your picture functions like a logo, like your own logo would. It's even better than your own logo. Contrary to popular belief, a face, an identity, a brand still resonates with people more than a logo. Typically, in the case of like a real estate agent, because you don't have the money and the funds to pay for logo recognition like McDonald's does. So typically your face is still the best representation of you and your business as a real estate agent. Okay. So this is my new fave. I'm going to go to town on this. And then here, let's just say you don't have a real estate listing. This is one of the top things I see people struggle with because they don't have the creative experience that would tell them what to make without that. Okay. So what if we change this to Summerlin? Now, if it's too big, just up top, click the little font and reduce the size. And you can drag it back to wherever you want it. Get used to the drag and drop editor. Okay, Summerlin. And then underneath here, I might put something like, now if I have not checked this on text, it looks right for a Facebook ad, but if it's too much text, we might have to reduce a little bit of the text, but I think this would work. It looks to me like it would work. And then I'm going to put Summerlin, a master planned community. Okay, then I would go over to images, which is company images, KW stock images, and we're going to look and see what they have here. Okay, so let's just say there's a picture here that you like and you say, yeah, that looks like Summerlin to me. You do the same thing we did with the listing photo. You click the photo, make sure it's the actual, there it is. You can watch the border, will tell you what it's highlighting. So you click the picture, and you've clicked a picture you want to replace it with, click the little wheels and it'll pop in there, okay? Now, this little drag and drop, so if your photo's getting cut off, you can raise up or down, and you can also click the photo and move it down. So if you need to, you know, if it's cutting off a little bit, like you don't like it, you can play with that there. And let me rise it. There we go. Okay, so you play with it until you get it to where you want it. You can also upload your own picture. You can resize it first and play with it. There's so many ways to do this. All right, or pick a different picture until you get what you like. Okay, so once I've got that done. I don't want it to overlap there. So I might just shrink that down a little bit. This is the part that takes the most work, is dragging and dropping and laying out so that you get everything exactly where you want it. Ah, I think I did it. Okay. So once that's there, then you go down here and see how this has 3 bedroom, 2 bath. You actually can change that to say something like 40,000 homes. And then the next one might say walking trails, you know, whatever it is that you want to feature in that area. New and resale. Pools. Okay, something like that. Now, once you get this, how you want it, then you go up here, you're going to rename the file. So I would call this Summerlin Community Ad. And then I'm going to download it. Start download. This is gorgeous. I am really going to play with this thing. I could see so many things with this design. Whoever created this design, I'm grateful because I think it's beautiful. Summerlin Community Ad. Okay, now, and go back to the other tab where we have social post campaigns and click on create a social post. Now, in this particular case, we're not even actually running an ad. We're just creating a social post. So when you're creating a social post, the amount of text on that image doesn't matter. When you're running an ad, Facebook limits it. I think it's 25, no more than 25% of the picture can have text. And so it sometimes won't run because it's too much text. But on here, you can. So now in your text, what you're going to do is you're going to put something like Summerlin is on sale. Take a look at just reduced homes in Summerlin. Now, in another tab, go to your KW site. Oops, wrong site. Hold on. Now, you can also use if you're not using the KW website for this type of stuff, you can use your brew. If you have a brew, if you have a real estate agent website of any kind, you can still use Command in conjunction. You do not need to use the KW site for this, but you can if you want to. So I'm just giving you the idea. Okay, so I go over here and then I would type in Summerlin and find whatever neighborhood it is I'm promoting. So you could have a you could do a zip code, you could do a neighborhood, you can do, there we go, the Hills, Las Vegas. Okay, so let's just say I'm doing Summerlin, the Hills, just reduced, okay? All right, so you can send them to this page, view all homes for sale in Summerlin, in the Hills at Summerlin, or I can go up here to sort by, click that little sort by, and I can go to days on market, price. So these are recently updated. That sorts them, but if I click more, down at the bottom, yeah, that's where it is. Price reduced. Now, the only homes on this page are homes that were just reduced. I'm telling you guys, if I'm a buyer and I'm out looking at inventory, especially if there's a lot of inventory, and I see an ad that says, look, Summerlin is on sale. Look what just reduced in Summerlin. I'm clicking through. Oh, what just reduced? What's special? It's not just see all homes. There's something special about this. And if you look right here, you can see just reduced by 6,000, just reduced by 4.9, just reduced by 20,000. Oh my gosh. And you can sort this by recently updated price. Wow. Okay, so now it's price high to low. So now we're starting with luxury homes and then we're going down. So however you want to do this. Then what you do is you take this long URL that's up top here. That's the web address that would take them to this page. Exactly. Copy that. Now I always open bit.ly, bit.ly. It's free. They have free and paid. I don't think I've ever paid for bit.ly, but then click create. Paste in that long, ugly URL right there and hit return. You're going to get this tiny little short URL, tiny URL. Click copy, go back over to your posts, and then paste the link. So now when they see that, they'll click through to the page of Summerlin. Guys, you don't need a listing ever to post these things on social media or run ads. Granted, having a listing is beneficial. Being able to run lead ads and things like that, you get more leads typically, but this all still works in the larger scheme of getting traffic to your website. Okay, but right now we're not doing an ad. This is just a social post, so why not do it? It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, now browse design library. And here's what we just created, Summerlin community ads. See, we didn't even have to upload it. It knows it's browsing it. Let's see if that works. I think that's new. Let me see. I don't think it worked a minute ago. So let's see. Oh, it worked. Dude. Okay. Designs is like my favorite feature. Actually, the database is my favorite. Designs is second. I just love what they're doing in designs. Makes me so happy. Okay, so that works. Crop image. All right. And now DBA logo, we don't need to upload it. We've already got it in our image. Don't need to change anything else. Now, schedule the post. This does not work on Instagram. This one's just Facebook and Twitter, by the way. So Facebook and Twitter, and schedule the post. I want this to go out now on July 1st. You're going to shoot for June. Maybe you want to shoot for May. Just you go in and you create one for every day of the month. Okay. Now you can also use the same design and change up the message a little bit. So for example, let's just say we schedule this one for May 1st. I'm going to copy this so that I can reuse that. So let's just go ahead and schedule it for May 1st, and then click schedule post. Looks good. Schedule the post. Then what you would do, see, now look, once it posts, you've got your calendar, you'll be able to look at all of your interactions, likes, comments, shares, or analytics here. But let's say you want to get some use out of this post. You took the time to make it. Let's run it for a while. So then you just do another one. Click another, create a social post, paste the message in, but now this time you might say, Summerlin is on sale. Download my app to shop homes in Las Vegas, whatever. And then you go in. I save mine in my Apple Notes. Just go to your app link, copy it, and paste it. Now you have a call to action, download the app. Do this again, browse design library, pull up the same one, change it to wide, crop image, and then we'll schedule it for June 1st. And you could do PM this time, change the time, whatever it is that you want to do. And you can click here to preview the post. And then click schedule post. You literally could do this for every single, you could take the same image, just make a little bit of changes to your text and schedule one for every month. And now you have this image repurposing for you every month, and as far out as you want to set it up. I usually will set up for the year. If I'm using any kind of software, or doing it manually, I'll usually repeat it once a month for up to 12 months. As long as it's something that's not going to expire. This is evergreen content, which means this is good forever. If it were time sensitive, like holidays or a listing or an open house, of course, we're not going to repeat that because it would expire and then it wouldn't be valid anymore. Okay. So for me, during this time, the things that I'm going to focus the most on as far as actually getting something published and out there is the database, the health score, the smart plans, activating email, activating text message, and then scheduling out a bunch of social posts. Okay. And then Jeff says, if you want the properties to still show by most recently added, change the end of the URL to sort equals listing date instead of price. So let me go back to there. Does days on market do that? Yeah, or just click days on market. So what Jeff is showing you to do is you just add this little string at the end, this and sort equals listing underscore date, or just change it right here to click the toggle days on market. And then you can sort it by days on market instead. Exactly. Okay. Now, one final thing that I would be doing right now, since I have you for a few more minutes, is I would be customizing my buyer and seller guide and the guide that's in the app. So if you go back to, we're going to go down here to consumer. And you will thank me later if you do this now, because this is going to take you a little while. And to have it later, when your business gets hopping again, if it's slowed down at all now, you're going to be so glad you have this done. So go over here and click on Guide Builder. You have a buyer's guide and you have a seller's guide. And what we have been told publicly, I don't have insider information, but what they told us at Family Reunion is that this guide is going to now function with their opportunity stages. So these little things will somehow be activated when they get to that phase in the process. So it kind of guides them. Now, this is supposed to work in conjunction with your buyer and seller guide that is in designs. So if I'm gonna click this little KW to go back to designs. And then we're going to go down here to, let's see, it's under, hold on one second. Where is it? The buyer guide for sale, open house, local expert just sold, lead generation, leadership, new designs. I didn't go to print. I'm sorry. Let me close out of this. You got to go to print. So click the bottom plus sign and then go to print and then click next. Okay, there we go. And then under buyer, you have this buyer presentation, and under listings, you have a seller one right here, listing presentation. So what you do is you want to click use one of those covers. They're just two different covers. And I will share with you, this is a little bit confusing because what you actually have to do on the left, this is just the template. You actually have to click it to add it to your design, and you'll see it pop up on the bottom right once it loads. So right now, your total document is 2 pages long. Now go to the next page and click add a new page. And now you'll see it go to 3 at the bottom. See that? So it's not automatic. You have to go in and pick which pages you want to be part of your presentation. And then you go in and make whatever edits that you want to make. And then here's what's confusing. When you download it and then you reopen it, it's going to look like you didn't make any changes because you're still looking at this template on the left-hand side. This preview doesn't change. This is the template. It's actually going to be down at the bottom. You'll see all of your pages. Click one and you'll see all of your changes. I just ran into this with one of my coaching clients that she couldn't find where all of her changes were, and I had to go look myself because I didn't know at the top of my head. And I went, oh, okay, now I see it. So you have to add each one in, make your changes, then name it, save it, and then when you open it again, your changes won't be here. They'll be down at the bottom. You'll be able to see all your pages down at the bottom. Now, if you go through this, you'll notice wherever it has a timeline. By the way, these guides are phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. I would use them for everything. Presentation, email campaigns. I mean, oh, Jeff, I just got the biggest idea for making a smart plan by breaking this down. But I don't know that we're going to have to do that because the way it's supposed to work in the phases. But how cool would this to be make a smart plan for a potential home buyer that they have to get qualified or they have to get their mortgage score up, but you create a smart plan with little pieces of these guides. Ooh, I may have to work on that. I've done this before, so I know what I'm thinking in my head. Anyway, when you look at the timeline, it should match up with that little guide that's popping up in the app so that whatever you're giving them as a handout or in an email matches with the little guide plan. So I would spend this time, whether it's 2 more weeks or 2 more months, creating my custom buyer guide and custom seller guide so that I have positioned myself now as an expert. And when I go on my next listing presentation or next buyer presentation, I have the best listing presentation. These could be pre-listing packets that are printed. They can be digitally delivered with live links. They can be made part of an email campaign. They can be made part of your newsletter. They can be an offer, a lead magnet. People download your guide, and now you're building your email list. And then you just want to make sure that it coincides with your guide builder here. All right. Okay. I think I have given you enough homework. Tress says, do you have to manually put all the verbiage in there? No, you just edit. So this here is already created for you. So you go in and edit, and you can drag and drop these around to different positions. And you can click them to edit them. You can change the picture. Ooh, how about this? Oh my gosh. What if you go take pictures of you so that it's not stock art? It's actually you at an open house. It's you sitting at a table. That's something you could stage now in your house while you're home. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Okay, so, and then you edit here, card title, subtitle. And then as far as the buyer's guide, this is all in here like designs. So it's a drag and drop editor. It's a click and change. So if you want to put your portfolio of all the listings that you've sold this year, you would click here and you would change out that picture. And then you would change out the details. And then you do the same thing for the next one. But you can definitely use a bunch of the text that's already in here. Now, hold on. How do I get back to templates? There we go. So like here, if this page and you read it and this page already fits everything, it makes sense with your business, then you don't have to change anything. When you work with me, you work with a trained agent that has the backing of the world's largest real estate company. But my suggestion is the more personal you make this, the better it's going to relate to you. Look at this one, credentials and awards. I mean, this is an opportunity for you to actually create the best bio about yourself you ever have using what's already been provided. Now, in this particular case, they have credentials and awards and it's all about KW, but you could change that to you, or you can literally copy this page by clicking duplicate, and you could make one that's all about KW and one that's all about you. Here's one. Look at this one. It's all in my numbers. Oh, I have so many ideas going through my head with how I would have used this when I had my big team. So here you go. Look at market average, and then your market average, 18% higher, 15% higher, 4.8. And you could either use your numbers or you could use your office numbers and still be telling the truth. You could use KW numbers and still be telling the truth because they're still your numbers. So that's up to you how you want to do this. But here they talk about the number of contracts that you've written, the dollar amount of the total contracts you've written, and how you're outpacing the market. That's just incredible. And look at this beautiful bio page. And I'm betting that Jeff and Paul at Ballen Brands could probably help put this together for you and interview you on the stats and put it all together for you in your guide. I'm just betting Jeff and Paul could. Okay, so here you just need to replace your image, replace your job profile. How many years experience do you have? How many total clients served? Jeff, this could probably be something you put in a Google form or Infusionsoft form, have them fill out all these things, and now you could help create their guide for them. Because here's what I do know. I do know that a lot of you will probably struggle with the actual drag and drop, clicking, saving, because it does have design elements to it that are probably going to be a little bit more challenging for people that haven't used these type of editors before, right?